Hello, student. Welcome again. This day, we shall be studying about the various techniques or the methods of training employees. You could see I have divided the methods of training into two broad categories, classifying as on the job training and then we have off the job training. On the job training is basically a type of simulation of the actual working atmosphere. The employees tends to acquire themselves how they would be having the feeling of working in a real work situations. So on the job training is a type of simulation of the real work situation and the problem that an employee may encounters when he really execute the job that is given to him. It also encourages the creativity in an employee so that the employee develop his own skill and learn the ways how he can manage and learn to handle the work or the problem that come across while doing a work in a real work situation. So on the job training can basically be divided into four broad categories. The first one, as it is shown here, is apprenticeship. Now what is apprenticeship? We know apprenticeship is a novice, Novice. He is a novice learner in any specific art and craft area. The person is required to do some specialized job. So, relating to his specific job, he can achieve the expertise when he undergoes a training. He cannot be called an expert unless he undergoes a training, unless he learn the art of making him an expert, or rather the skill which he requires to perform the art and craft that is required in his work. So here, apprenticeship is basically a learning program, on the job learning, and which is quite common in many technical work like draftsman, like technician, like plumber, carpenter, or we can say welders. So these type of job, they require learning the specific art or craft of doing the work or handling the work in a real life situations. Now under apprenticeship training, what happens? The employees, or rather we can say the person who is to undergo a training as an apprentice, he is put under the guidance of a skilled employee or a skilled person who is concerned with the trade, concerned with the art. He knows the very fine nuances of the skill that is required to execute the work. So the apprenticeship learn the specific art of executing the work under the guidance of a skilled person. He is retained to the learning for a specific period, and during this period he come across the several problem that he may encounters into a real life situations on the job. He tries to make possible suggestions, come out with possible answers, possible solution, and see how far he has been able to handle the work with his thought, with his vision, with his way of handling the work. Now during the entire period of learning or apprenticeship training, the apprenticeship, he receives a stipend from the organization, from the company where he joins for learning the art. The purpose of apprenticeship training is undertaking with the purpose that the employee may be able to handle the job in a more better manner. So through this process, the employee, they develop their skill of doing the work in a more better way. That is about apprenticeship training. And this is fit for those jobs which requires, or which rather entails, very complex learning, very complex skill, and they cannot be acquired unless the employees undergoes a training, and that has to be under the supervision of an expert. So this is all about apprenticeship training. Then we come to internship. Now, what is an internship? Internship is a program whereby many educational institutions, they work in collaborations with some technical institute to provide first-hand experience of the real work situations to the employees, or to the students rather. The intern or the student who undergoes this internship, they have to study the art or the spatial knowledge, the advanced knowledge relating to the theory and practical they have learned in their institute, their educational institute. And this, during their internship training, the institute would provide them an opportunity to apply their learning of those theories and principle into a real life situations. They shall be retained there for a specific period, so that they gets or develops an expertise in the art which calls for their devotions as well as their diligence, so that they can be perform the job in a more better manner. I would rather take it that engineers, doctors, the art or the theory, the principles relating to the treatment of a specific ailment which they have learned, they need to put their learning into a practical situations and test whether they have perfected their learning or not. So internship is basically a program of collaboration between an educational institute and a technical institute which provide the infrastructure where the student or the rather employees, they undergoes a training and learn the art of real work situation. So this is about internship training, and they receives an stipend as well. Then third comes coaching. This is also basically a simulation training. Simulation means the worker or the employees work in identical situations relating to the job place where they would be working or performing the job really. But here, what they learn, they actually learn that the work or the job in which they will be placed, the target that has been set for them, whether they would be able to achieve the set target or not. What are the problems they would be encountering when they would come across reaching or attaining the target? How more better they can able to achieve their target. So this is all what they would be learning. Here, a superior, a senior agrees, or rather the worker employees agrees mutually with one of the superiors under whom he is to have his training, and mutually they agreed to a specific target which is to be achieved within a specific period. The superior guides him. He works under the supervision of the superiors, and the superior gives him the basic knowledge of how he can effectively achieve the target within a specified durations, how he can increase his productivity. So all this can be learned under the supervision or guidance or learning of a superior. Now this superior basically teaches him so that he may relieve him in future when the need comes. Suppose for some days the superior is unable to come to a job. Now who would be looking after the job? So he is basically preparing these employees so that in case of emergency, or if there is a need, he may be promoted to a higher job, or he can, for the time being, can handle a superior job. That is the purpose of coaching. And fourth and final is about job rotations. Now, job rotations is exactly contrary to job enrichment, where a number of different types of activities on the same line is added. Now here, under job rotations, the employees is moved from one department to another department for a specified period. The purpose why he is moved from one place to another place is that the employees learn how he can independently handle the work of various departments. He can, in a broader perspective, learn the various ways of handling the work in different departments. He gets his knowledge diversified. He learns the aspect of handling the work in different departments, how the work in different departments are interrelated, then how he can able to solve or handle the work in a more better and independent manner. He need not to depend upon somebody's guidance, but rather he is being given, he is being placed, it is not transfer, but it is rotations, in the sense that it is fairly for a specific period, that once an employee learn the special work of a specific department, he is moved to some another department. So it is about acquiring the sufficient knowledge and skill for handling the work in a particular department. So that is the purpose why job rotation is taken. It is to be remembered that job rotation is not exactly job transfer, or rather it cannot be said to be transfer of job. But here what happens, the employees, they undergoes the work, acquaintance with the work of various department for a specific limited period, and once they acquire the knowledge of the work, how it is done, what is their interrelationship with the work in different departments, and how he is able to correlate it, how he is able to coordinate with the functions of other department. Once he is able to achieve it, he is placed in a specific job, and when the need comes, he can be used or he can be transferred to some other department. So these are all about the 4 basic on the job training method. Now let us have a look, and then we would move to the off the job methods of training. Let us see. Okay, let us now join us for the off the job training. As you can see that there are six basic classification of off the job training. Training or acquaintance with the work away from the real work situations, or rather getting a knowledge and a skill about the actual work away from the work. The first one being classroom lectures or discussions. Excuse me. Under classroom lectures and discussions, an expert in the specific field may come and interact with the employees who participate in this learning. Or nowadays, what happens? Many of the organizations, what they are doing, they are following the work of, or rather, they are following the practice of calling an expert from a specific field to deliver a lecture and encourage the employee to participate in a general discussions. Now, why this discussion is taken on? They are basically aimed at enriching the workers and the employees with the advanced knowledge in their particular area. The doctors, they attend discussions or they attend specific lectures of some of the expert doctors. Now, if there has been any innovation or development in any of the treatment, then they come to know about such advanced knowledge about the advanced treatment of a particular ailment. So here, under a classroom lecture or discussions, the employees attend a session by an expert and they try to learn the advanced knowledge or a skill about a particular job. The employees, when they indulge in a discussion, the purpose of their discussion is that they enrich themselves. The idea which they have about their existing knowledge in a particular field, they shall be able to check their ideas, their knowledge, and they shall be able to correlate with the changes or development that has taken place in that particular area. Expert in the field of health or in the field of some safety measures in the factory to be taken, or rather how the productivity can be increased, how the employees can be more effective, or how they can increase their productivity, how they can handle the lethargy in the works environment. So these are the topic or these are the techniques which they can learn relating to the actual work situations. So that is about classroom lectures and discussions. Then we have conference and seminar. Conference is a group meeting. Now, in a group meeting, there are a number of participants. The aim of this conference is to develop the knowledge and understanding of the participants, rather the workers, by encouraging them in an oral conversations with the expert, or rather with the resource person who is delivering a special knowledge on a particular topic relating to the job or relating to work conditions. Now here, the workers, the employees, they think that this method, that is conference and seminar, it is one of the very effective training device. Now how it becomes very effective? Because here, when the speaker speaks in a conference or in a seminar about the knowledge about the skill relating to a particular job, then the employees can compare their knowledge, their understanding with the knowledge and with the understanding of the resource person who is delivering a knowledge or a learning about a specific job, so that they can learn it. So based on the comparison, they can make in conference and seminar, they can enhance their learning, and they would become more perfect in their approach. They develop an approach which is more authentic, which is more genuine to the real work situation. So that's about conference and seminar. Then we come to the third topic, that is case study. Now, this case study is basically, we know that this employee, in a case study, what happens? A problem is given to the worker relating to a real life situations, and they are asked to come out with a possible answer, with a possible solution of the problem that is given to them. Now, how they can come out? The principles they have learned, the special learning relating to a particular job which they have learned, they can use in analyzing the work problem, and then they can possibly come out with some solutions. Now, these solutions are discussed among themselves, among the participants and among the resource person who handles the case studies. Now, what happens? The workers who participate in a case study with the help of some instructor, the instructor help them that they should reach to a common solution of the problem. Now, the problem, the solution which they have arrived at, it differs according to the perception of each individual employees. So here what happens? The employees test how far they have been able to apply their knowledge in finding the solution to a realistic problem. That is the purpose of case study. So it is testing the employees how far they have been successful in applying their knowledge, applying their learning in finding a realistic solution to an environmental problem, to an work problem. This is about case studies. Then comes vestibule training. Vestibule refers to a veranda, or rather it is a simulation of the actual work atmosphere away from the work atmosphere. Now, in a vestibule, a similar place or work environment is created with same equipments, machine, tools. The workers are acquainted with their locations, the time taken in handling and movement of the machines. The workers learn that if they are placed in a real life situations, how far they would be able to handle those sophisticated machines and equipment that they are supposed to work in a real life situations. So this vestibule training is a type of simulations. Now, since it is not possible to place the entire workers under training at the real place, a look-alike situation is created somewhere away from, and the employees, they are taken to those place of the industrial organizations where they are placed in the real life situations, or a similar atmosphere of the work atmosphere where the employees are supposed to work, and then how they are handling the machine, the time they are taking in handling the machines, what are the point which are unnecessary, these are located, and then their efficiency can be increased. They come to know that what are the unnecessary activities which they are performing while handling the various machines and locating the various resources. That is the purpose of vestibule trainings. Then comes the films. Now films are a real life presentations. Films are actually pictorial presentations, live pictorial presentations. The employees, they may be shown a film, a clippings of how work is being done in a particular place. They can be given a films, or they can be trained through the films of particular lectures, or a real factory work conditions where machine is being handled. Now these films becomes a part in the first, that is classroom lectures and discussions. The experts or the lecturer who delivers the lecture, he takes assistance of those films so that the workers, they understand the learning or what is being imparted to them, the knowledge, in a more better manner. They learn the skill